team to commence the recording. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so for those of you, because I don't know, I don't think I have met Janvi before. I don't think I have met Shankar before. Kavish probably yeah. Okay, Shankar, working professional, currently traveling on bike, so couldn't. Oh my God, you are on bike, so just be careful. All right. Okay. So, my name is Ashish, and some of you know me, some of you do not know me. So, I'll give a quick background. I've done my engineering and MBA and corporate jobs, etc. But then I kind of found my calling, and then I shifted into the education sector, training sector, and then lots of things, and finally found my real passion in career counseling, and therefore that's what I'm right now doing. So we have a career counseling institution based out of Mumbai, but we do our work all across India. We do work in the Middle East, United States, Canada, etc., etc. So that's a little bit about us, and I'm going to cover a little bit more about what we do as we progress, because we are also looking at introducing some very exciting programs which are really new and fresh, like they say, just fresh off the oven. Lots of exciting things happening at our end also, which we'd like to share with you all. Now, let me actually tell you a little bit about what is this uh, program all about. So we just saw that we talk to the students, we interact with them, we are with them for 2 sessions, 3 sessions, etc. And then, of course, they are in their own world and we are in our world, etc. And sometimes some of them want more input, some of them want more guidance, etc. But then that connection is not very continuous. So we said that why don't we create a forum and we call it like a get together. Therefore, we have called it CGFY. CGFY stands for Career Guidance for You, which is the name under which we operate. So we said that, we have a knowledge and skills get together. Now, when there is a get together, generally a get together is better than a webinar. So we felt it's a get together. And because this has got some students who like Meghna ji is there, and I believe Ashish is also there, which is so great, was from the Defense Forces and taken time to actually attend this talk. So this is fantastic. Janvi, have you? No, sorry, I thought you have raised your hand. All right. So therefore, so we thought let's have a get together. Let's have an interaction. We'll make it informal. In the process, we'll try to have some amount of knowledge sharing, some amount of skill sharing. Now, one of the most important things that's happening is information is absolutely all over the place. So we do not have a problem of lack of information today. The problem is of inauthentic or not having access to authentic information. So we thought that if we have these forums, automatically we have a research desk, and that desk keep generating research and research findings, etc., which are from pretty credible sources. And therefore, we thought we will be able to provide to all of you all some authentic information that is curated. That's number one. And number two, it is also a forum for our students and, of course, parents to come back, talk, chat. We are all busy right now. So if there is already a forum like this, then automatically one gets into a system and structure. And if there are any queries, etc., they will get resolved. So that's the whole idea. And we started it as an experiment. We said that we'll first do at least 10 sessions, depending upon the response that and right now we've kept it free. So it's like we're trying to democratize the information. And if we get a good response, then we will look at continuing them and really, making it like a continuous process. So we've been getting decent response. In fact, we get a very good response in terms of registrations, but the attendance sometimes, would love to have much more attendance than what currently we are seeing. So we will figure that out. I'm so happy to see that Janvi is sharing. I'm a science student from PCM, actually outside. Okay, you're outside, therefore you cannot. Yeah, okay. If you're outside, I hope you are not driving or biking. Just be safe. Okay, great. But thanks for sharing. Okay, so that's a little bit of background. Let me begin the session. I'm also going to show you some slides, and let me ask you a simple question. What comes to your mind? What, according to you, is if I ask you, if I were to ask you this question, what do you think are the jobs which did not exist and which are going to boom by 2030? Any idea what kind of jobs are going to boom. Let's put it simple. Can you tell me? Can anyone just share? What do you think are the jobs that are going to boom in 2030? Now, today's session is dedicated to jobs which did not exist till about 5 to 10 years back and are going to boom. I mean, this whole topic can be created and curated in different ways. This is not the exhaustive list of jobs that are booming, but this is specifically the list of jobs which were not there 5 to 10 years back, but are going to boom in just 10 to 15 years of time. So any idea what kind of, I mean, you want to just take a kind of a guess? Anyone wants to take a guess? Because, it's just like a interaction. So there is nothing like right and wrong. Just feel free to share. You want to share anything? What kind of jobs? See, I was and just you can either unmute and speak, or you can type in the chat, whatever works well for you. Okay,
Uh,
good. Yeah.
can
Yeah,
I name a few?
yeah, please. I think
AI,
okay,
robotics,
okay, good.
data analysis,
Absolutely.
data architecture, machine learning,
Okay.
sustainable, environmental sustenance and those related options, nanotechnology, GIS, geographic information systems,
Right.
um, VI, like visual, UX, UI.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
Aditi. Yes, good. I think we should be co-creating this session. So you have actually covered a whole list of jobs. I'm going to make it a little more specific because what you said is absolutely right. So within that, I'm going to make it more specific in terms of roles. So here goes. So let me kind of talk about the first one. But before I do that, let me just show you my screen and let me just begin the presentation. Here you go. Okay, so see, this is CGFY Knowledge and Skills Get-Together. Okay, now, why did we specifically take jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago? Can anyone tell me what is the significance of that statement? Before I come to jobs, I'll come to all of that. There are 12 jobs that we've identified, which we're going to share with you all. But specifically, can you share what is the significance of jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago? Any guesses? Any attempts? Okay, let me tell this. See, I was listening to a very prominent thought leader, and it was so interesting. He was talking about how the world has changed, etc. Now, today we are in the year 2025. He said something, and it kind of blew me over. So he said that in the last 55 years, from 1970 to 2025, this is 55 years. What kind of changes? How do you describe the changes that have happened in the last 55 years? Would anyone like to describe? Uh, I mean, how would you describe okay, so let me put it this way. In 1970 to 2025, so we are talking of a world in 1970 where having a telephone line was a huge privilege. A landline. Lots of people did not have a landline. Having a scooter, it would take about, I think, 7 to 8 or 12 years to book and actually get a scooter, Bajaj scooter. There was, cars were all about Fiat and Ambassador, etc., and a few standard here and there. And my God, I mean, how is the world so different? So, from the world which was in 1970 to the world which is 2025, how, in one word, how will you define the change? You want to define the change from how the world was in 1970 to how it is in 2025?
Evolution, can we say?
Right. Evolution, absolutely right. Okay, I would say it is like completely unrecognizable. The world which was in 1970, now obviously I don't know what was there in 1970, but if I talk about in the 1980s, I cannot recognize that it's the same world that was there in the 1980s. It's a completely different world. It looks like a completely different universe. Now, what he was saying is that the amount of changes that are going to happen in the world in the next 15 years by 2040. Now, just mind you, we are talking about 2040. There are few of you who are here, students or their parents, who are right now 15-year-olds. 15 to 16. So by the time in the next 15 years, when you are going to be 30, when you would have kind of just started your careers a few years back, and I mean you are still, in a phase where you are in your late 20s or maybe early 30s. At that, now the changes that are going to happen in the next 15 years till 2040 are going to be much more than what has happened from 1970 to 2025. And while we all know that change is happening really fast, when this reality dawned on me that this is what is going to happen, I was like blown over, because that's the speed at which changes are happening. And if changes are happening at that speed, I mean, today in 1970, there were so many jobs that were there. Like, for example, I used to go to my father's office because some of his office colleagues would give me a five-star or a Cadbury dairy, whatever chocolate was there. And I used to see a lot of people there typing. And for the first time, I understood what's a typewriter. There were typists, a lot of typists in that office, for example. And today, where the whole profession of a professional typist is not there at all. This is just one example. Typewriter as an industry itself is not there. Typewriter, manual typewriter. So all the people who had the skills to manufacture a typewriter are not there at all. The machines which were manufacturing a typewriter not there at all. So what I'm saying is, like that, there will be hundreds of other things. Now, the significance of jobs that did not exist last 10 years back is that the rate of changes are going to be so fast. And therefore, all of you who are right now 15, 16, 17, by the time you are studying today, by the time you actually come out and become a graduate, and then by the time you become a postgraduate and you start working and finish 5 years, etc., the changes are rapid is going to be a complete understatement. And therefore, one of the most important things that you all will require is absolute flexibility and high level of learning and attitude. And therefore, I just want to tell you that, okay, so I can say wherever I see a chat, I will keep opening it and seeing it. All right. So therefore, I just wanted to tell you that the significance of job that didn't exist 10 years ago is that it will soon be possible that the jobs which are there today are not going to be existing probably in 2035. That's the kind of change. Okay. Now, from these conversations, whatever you all can pick up as students, please pick that up. That's very important, because it's not, the days are gone when we say that, okay, I am an engineer and therefore I'm secure, I'm a doctor, I'm in a government job. I think governments, and we have Ashish here, Srivastu, who is government job, senior position, etc. They are also changing the way they work, etc. So therefore, the thing is, it is absolutely important to explore emerging careers. And because unless you explore, because an emerging career is at least going to have some level of longevity, something which is already there. So therefore, something that is going to come is very important, because it will come, there will be research that will happen, and there will be actions and activities, and the industry will boom, and then it will die down. That cycles are shortened. But therefore, it is important to understand what is emerging, because then you will be able to work for at least for a few years and then move on to next career. It's actually going, I mean, we are the world of work for you all is almost going to be like the world of movie stars, where you work for one movie and then the team gets disbanded, then you work for another movie and that team gets disbanded, and so on. It's going to be literally like that. Yeah. So let's move forward, and therefore it is extremely important. So it really does. Now, if you say, the moment I say emerging technologies, the first thing that comes to mind, which students ask me is, does it mean that only technical jobs will be there? So if that question comes to your mind, you can just type out yes, that question's yes. If you think that question doesn't come to your mind, you can just type out N, so that you feel you are doing some kind of an activity and you feel a little engaged. Okay. So feel free to engage, keep doing that, and that will also motivate the others to engage. Now I want to, okay, so there is, okay, what, okay. Okay, I have that question in mind. Okay, you said you have that question in mind. Okay, thank you, Meghna ji. Thanks a lot. So, yes, that question is definitely there in the mind. So the answer is that all careers will coexist, science, commerce, and arts. Only thing is, digital skills will be all pervasive. McKinsey had done a survey about 4 years back, and they had come out with the different kinds of skills that are required for future proofing the careers of students. And they had come on, maybe one of the sessions that we will have will be on that particular survey, because that's a beautiful survey, very, very insightful. But just to cut the long story short, in that survey they talked about four different categories of skills, and one of the skills was digital skills. And therefore, you may be an art student, you may be a creative art student, no matter what. But digital skills are going to be damn important. So, technical jobs or being a technologist or a technical person is not as important, but understanding technology and using it on a day-to-day basis is going to be important. And it's going to be clear from the careers that we're going to talk about. So, don't worry, it is not going to be only tech guys. Yes, tech guys will have their definite place, but the real place is going, I mean, the workplace is going to belong to those who are comfortable with technology with a human touch. So more of that a bit later. So now let me come to the first job that is really was not there 5 years back, but it's going to be really big. So from the visual, okay, we'll do like a small game from the visual. Can you make out what could that job be? Is some clue. We have put down the visuals in a way that we are giving some clues here. So inside that visual, there is a clue. Can anyone catch the clue? Because otherwise you just see computers and tech, etc. But believe me, the guy who is sitting there is not a technical guy. That's the best part. So that is the point I'm talking about. So there's a non-technical guy who's actually sitting with two consoles and screens, etc., looking like complete tech environment, but a non-technical guy. So anyone can catch the clue of prompt lab? Okay, that was a clue, prompt lab. That the first job that we want to talk about is the job of a AI prompt engineer. Okay, now the word actually prompt engineer is misleading because it gives a feeling that you have to be a qualified engineer to be a prompt engineer, but that's not the case. So Aditi, you said AI, absolutely right. We're just trying to make it more specific. So AI prompt engineer is a job that's going to be definitely in demand. This job was not there. And this job is all about, does anyone know what is AI prompt engineer? Any guesses, any thoughts? Anyone wants to share? So, anyways, feel free to share. And the job of an AI prompt engineer is to give the right kind of prompts. Now, why? Because see, AI is all pervasive. Now, AI is no longer going to be your uh, what do you say, cutting edge, but knowledge of AI tools along with your domain knowledge is what will make you state of the art. So you have to know, you have your domain knowledge, you have to know how to create AI agents, etc. I'm not getting into details of what is AI agents, etc. That will make the whole thing very technical, but basically you need to understand how to make AI agents and all of that. So you need to understand understand AI tools. At the end of the day, what is going to be so important is how do you really utilize this AI tools for your work. So the job of an AI prompt engineer is to actually give the right kind of prompts so that the AI engine or the tools are able to generate content that is required for your work role. That's your so. Can you all tell me what are the different kinds of AI tools, since AI is like all pervasive? And once you know that AI, because most of the time when we talk about AI tools, we start with Chat GPT and end with probably Gemini. So fine, Chat GPT and Gemini is obviously very, very popular. But first of all, there are different kinds of contents that are required. So one is the text content. So Chat GPT and Claude are very good for text related content. So we are talking about generative AI right now. So for generative AI, Chat GPT is very good, Claude is very good, and therefore, obviously, you have to know both. Therefore, you need to know when to go for this one, when to go for that one. Now, if you are talking about image generation, then you have Mid Journey, you've got DAL E5, which is very good for image generation. If you want to have video generation, then you got synthesis. No, sorry, it's not synthesis. It's called Synthesia. Sorry, not synthesis. It's called Synthesia. Then there is Runway, which is there. So that's again a content generator. That's again a different tool, but that is for generating videos. And if you're a software engineer, then the tool that is so important for you is actually it's called GitHub. GitHub. Microsoft has got a co-pilot GitHub. So GitHub becomes like a platform. GitHub co-pilot. So that's the tool. So therefore, there are different kinds of AI tools which are all available. Now, you may be a coder, you may not be a coder, etc. That doesn't matter. If you know a little bit of Python programming, that will definitely help. But otherwise, you need not be a technical guy in that sense. But then what is definitely required is you need to know which AI to use and what is the kind of prompts to be given. So that's the job of an AI prompt engineer. Is it clear to you all? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, is it clear? You want to? Yeah, yes, no. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Then okay, now these are some of the details that I had given with respect to AI prompt engineer. I will like to talk specifically about two things. One is if you look at the companies which are hiring, in fact, there is a company which is I had noted down the name because I had forgotten the name of this company. It's called Vicara AI. Vicara.ai is a company which is based in California that has actually given an ad right now as we speak on a recruitment platform called Indeed. And they are offering a job as an AI prompt engineer. And what do they do? The job of that company is to help in weight reduction. So therefore, just to answer your question, Meghna ji, if you are working for a company which is into weight reduction, you will actually require a nutritionist. So a nutritionist who also knows how to be a prompt engineer. So ideally, if you are a nutritionist and a prompt engineer, that is something that will seal the deal for you. So that's how the jobs are going to be. It's not so tech is going to be merged with anything and everything. Because so or you could be a doctor also. It could be a doctor or a nutritionist, and then along with that, you are a prompt engineer. So that is what will get you a job in that company. But then, for example, there are so many other jobs that we will talk about. So if you look at the skills, then critical thinking, language skills, and Python. So Python coding is something that I would recommend to all the students, whether you are a technical student or a non-technical, science, commerce, arts, etc. You try and learn a little bit of Python coding because it will open you up to the world of coding to an extent, and a little bit of Python will always help in understanding AI better. So that is what, and it could be for art students, commerce students, science students, anything. It doesn't really matter. So clear? Okay, now let's move to the next one. Okay, I can see something in the, I have this question. Thank you. It helps and you may call me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, it's so good to see that. Thanks a lot. And it is nice to see that Sanvi has also joined in and listening. Welcome, Sanvi. All right. So let's look at the next one. Sanvi, feel free to interact, feel free to chat or speak, whatever is convenient to you. Okay, this is the next job that we are talking about. Any guesses? There is a clue, like I was telling you, the picture has a clue of what is the job that we are talking about. So just look at the picture, and just a clue for you is, okay, let me tell you that between the picture, the clue is with the, not with the guy who you can see, but with the background that you can see behind him. That's a clue for you. Any guesses? Okay, so can you tell me who is a designer who is able to visualize and design buildings? What's that profession called? Someone who is designing buildings, someone who is designing a town, someone who's designing interiors and exteriors of a building, designing offices. Who's that called?
Architect.
Absolutely right, architect. But here we are talking about a different kind of architect called a metaverse architect. Metaverse architect. So we are talking about an architect who is a metaverse architect. Now that's going to be a very, very, now there was no, so there were jobs, obviously there were jobs as an architect in the past, but there was no role as a metaverse architect. And does anyone know what's a metaverse, by the way? Anyone who knows what's metaverse? Anyone? Okay, so metaverse. Okay, let me see what is there in the chat. Okay, architect, you are right. Absolutely right. Okay. If it is a typed out, I just take probably a little bit of a lead time to go and see that. Okay. So, what's a metaverse? Anyone? So, metaverse is a universe that is created in the digital world. When I say universe, it's not literally a universe, but metaverse is let you can say it is an ecosystem that is created in the digital world. That's called a metaverse. Now, let me give you a practical example. And when I first heard this example, I was like, wow, because I always thought that metaverse is about gaming. See, for example, I know that there are, if you go to the metaverse, you have concerts happening, music concerts happening. You have digital games which are played in the metaverse, etc. So I always used to associate metaverse with gaming and online visual, I mean, online virtual concerts, etc., or virtual socializing, because that's how it was actually created. It was actually created for gaming. But you have our own, I mean, in the sense, our own in the sense, our familiar Kotak Mahindra Bank. Now, Kotak Mahindra Bank is actually using Metaverse for its professional work in banking. Now, why I'm giving you this example is so that you will realize that Metaverse architect, which sounds very, very futurist or almost like science fiction, is already there and it's going to boom in 2030. Now, Kotak Mahindra Bank has got two kinds of metaverses. One is for the clients and one is for the internal employees. Now, for the internal employees, they have got a learning metaverse, which is for employee engagement. And, for those, see, like, how an HR department would love to organize some kind of employee engagement activities for employees, like going for a picnic or training programs, etc. What they are doing is they are actually organizing, they may be doing obviously offline things, but they are also organizing, for example, treasure hunt in metaverse. So I am here, my colleague is somewhere in some part of the country, etc., or some part of the world, and we are actually playing treasure hunt on the metaverse of Kotak Mahindra Bank, assuming we are employees of Kotak Mahindra Bank. So it's used in HR applications. MBA. I mean, you need to be an MBA HR. So you need to be an MBA HR and understand the world of metaverse. Or you need to be from MBA marketing background, because what they have created is they have realized that if Kotak Mahindra Bank, any bank for that matter, if they want more accounts and more clients, the best way to get clients is whenever someone turns 18, because till the time you are 18 you cannot open a bank account. So the moment you are 18, if you are kind of lured and then you become a client, then you will typically become a lifelong client, or at least, I mean, you will maintain that account for many years. So they want to, so then they wanted to figure out, okay, if I have to make 18-year-olds as my clients, how do I make them? Because they understand this world better than saying ki aa jao or bank mein khata kholo. They understand this world better. So then they said, okay, why not create a banking experience on the metaverse? So I have heard, I have not seen Kotak Mahindra metaverse experience, but what I've heard from a few people who have actually seen it is that they've actually created a whole bank. Kotak Mahindra branch is there on Metaverse, and a young 18-year-old can understand what is a Kotak Mahindra bank experience by going to a Metaverse, and he or she is excited. He will actually open an account in the physical bank. Isn't it exciting? I think the world of futuristic careers is really exciting. So then you understand metaverse, but you have to be from probably a banking background or a finance background, MBA with marketing, MBA with finance, or you be from the IT background. But I'm talking about the non-IT stuff. So therefore, metaverse is big in gaming. It's big in it's really big in gaming. It's very big in um, uh, getting bigger in industry now. Workflows are being actually designed, typically non-technical workforce or workflows that have to appeal to youngsters are being designed on metaverse. So metaverse architect is someone who will be able to visual, just like a normal architect that we know, his or her job is to actually visualize and design an entire building before it is made. The job of, let's say, since we talked about Kotak Mahindra Bank, the job of a metaverse architect who is guiding Kotak Mahindra Bank or any other bank to design the metaverse is to understand banking, understand human behavior. So therefore, we are not talking about an techie. We are talking about someone who understands banking and who understands human behavior. So maybe we are talking about someone who has done a psychology and economics along with finance. That's how careers are going to be interdisciplinary. Clear? So, metaverse architecture, why booming? Okay, some facts are written. I don't want to get too much into facts, etc. Because anyway, we are going to we're going to make a recording. And if you all want to watch the recording, you can just send us a message so that we'll send you the recording also. Or if you want to share it with your friends, you can do that also. Right. So therefore, I'm not focusing more on hard data, but I'm talking of the softer aspects of. So a lot of students keep asking me, what are the new skills required? Now, if you want to be a metaverse architect, for example, the skills required are Unity, Unreal Engine, Blender, UX design. Aditi, you rightly said UX design. I just said that I'm going to go a little deeper into that. Okay. And who can be from the arts background, economics background, engineering background, definitely commerce background, all kinds of backgrounds are fine. Designing background, UI, UX design background, etc. You can be a metaverse designer, but you need to understand the domain knowledge of banking. Now, if you are going to create a metaverse experience, for example, I know that Godrej Industries, the one which is into soaps and all this, etc., they are also using metaverse big time. So then you have to understand FMCG background. So just because it is metaverse, it doesn't mean it's a techie. So lots of non-technical guys who are comfortable with technology are the need of the hour. The second thing is because you are dealing with technology all the time, therefore human skills are going to be very important, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the next job. Next job which did not exist few years back and which is going to be very, uh, very much in demand in 5 years. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Okay, this is okay. Let me tell you, um, there is a model that is made, and that model is like a factory. That's the clue that I'm giving you. The man there is working on a model, and the model looks more like a factory or an industry or a township, you can say. Okay, but more like a factory. That's a clue for you. Okay, fine. Let me reveal this job. It's called a digital twin engineer. A digital twin engineer. Now, all of us know what's a twin. And therefore, now you can imagine what's a digital twin. So it's a twin of yours who is digital. Now, this is a job definitely for engineers. This is a technical job. Amongst all the jobs, I think this is the only job which is for actual technical people. The job of digital twin engineer is to actually create a digital twin of anything that he or she is actually going to be designing later. So today, there was a time when factories were designed on a plain sheet, which is a drawing paper. Then factories started getting designed on computer, and now we are getting into the next world where factories are getting designed using AI and using all kinds of tools where you can completely not only physically see the factory, but you can test out how the factory runs. You can actually run a factory. So you are first, let's say if you are designing a factory which is producing steel, then you are first producing steel virtually. The actual steel is coming out, its properties, everything is measured in the digital world, and then you are probably going back and correcting the design and then coming out with a real factory. So this is a job definitely for engineers, and therefore you could be a mechanical or an electrical engineer or a computer engineer along with knowledge of AI, machine learning, data visualization, and all of that. And this is obviously going to boom because tomorrow no one is going to put their money in a physical factory in this virtually world unless you're very, very sure what is going to come out. And definitely this is going to be a cutting edge job for engineers. Yeah, companies like Nvidia, for those who track market capitalization, etc., it is the company with the highest market capitalization in the world. And of course, you got companies like Siemens and Tata Steel and all of that. They are already into this work. So this is not really far away. 2030, these jobs will boom. Any questions? We move on to the next one. Okay, let me move on to the next one. Okay, let me move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, what is this? After this job, I'm also going to take a little bit of a diversion, talk about something else, and then I'm going to again continue this. I'm going to talk about something which is really very close to me, and then I'll once again talk about the remaining ones. Maybe I'll cover a couple of more ones, and then I'll talk about. Then I'll take a little bit of a not a break. I'll take a digression, talk about something very important, but not this, and once again come to this. Okay. So what could this job be? The clue is the vehicle. Okay. Okay. I think, see, I'm not using things like Mentimeter and Kahoot, etc. Otherwise, I would have created a poll and given it to you all, but ठीक है धीरे धीरे करेंगे तो
So
काफी मेहनत लगता है वो सब करने सॉरी automobile
automobile
designing. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Only thing is because see the topic is jobs that did not exist it's 5 years back and automobile designing existed 5 years job and
robot led
therefore the answer is not right. Otherwise, yeah, automobile design definitely is a very, very hot job. Yes, AI driver. Yes, not the technical word, but something like that. All right, fantastic. Fantastic. That's the right answer, Meghna. That's the right answer. Yeah, it is autonomous vehicle operator, which is a or a technician or a both, ideally both. So you're absolutely right with this one. You, if I had awards, then you would have won an award for the job. Yeah, so autonomous vehicle operator is someone who can operate as well as repair an autonomous vehicle, a vehicle which drives without a driver. So there, uh, there were a lot of jobs for drivers, and even today there are jobs for drivers. But today I know Uber drivers, some of them are earning a decent amount of money. So I know a lot of qualified graduates, especially from the smaller towns, who are driving Uber and Ola cars as a part-time profession or even a full-time profession. So slowly, India is also witnessing dignity of labor, etc. And this is obviously going to be a definitely a. It's almost like a technical job, okay, to be a driver because lots. It's almost like an sorry, pilot, right? Almost like a pilot. So what is going to be in this job and why is it going to boom is because you have the big guns who are all trying to give us these kind of autonomous cars. So you have Waymo, which is a Google company. So Waymo, Google wants to give us, they want us to drive autonomous cars. Elon Musk wants us to drive autonomous cars. Slowly Indian companies, then there is this China mein wo bada wala kaun hai? BYD, he wants to make us drive autonomous cars. So slowly, the whole world wants us to drive autonomous cars, and therefore it's going to be definitely big. And therefore, the career opportunities are going to be quite big. And along with this, I want to also talk about another job that is job of a drone driver, drone operator. I mean, today, there's fascinating work happening. You all should look at the website of a company called Zipline, Zipline. It's right now operating in the United States, very few places in the United States, like Seattle, etc. The kind of drone deliveries, I mean, today you have deliveries happening. We all are used to big basket and all of that, but it is physical human beings who are coming. But if you look at Zipline, deliveries are happening with drones. It's real. And in Karnataka, they have already tested delivering medical, medicines, and especially in flood affected areas and places where you cannot reach, etc. Drones can reach. So technology can reach where human beings cannot reach. And that brings me to a very important point that we are right now in the era of Industry 5.0. I don't want to digress, but just to introduce you to industry. So while we have not yet lived out the whole life of Industry 4.0, but Industry 5.0 is already staring at us. And Industry 5.0 is Industry 4.0 with a human touch. So more and more applications are now going to come to make lives of human beings better. And I'm going to give you one example in this slides, in this today's show program itself. But then one of the things is, if you are trying to do disaster management, then you can use these technologies like a drone operator. Yeah. So yes. Any questions? Okay, I can see automation and transport. Okay, there is an answer. Yeah, I can see someone has shared automation and transport. You are absolutely right. So automation in transport is happening, and therefore, I'm going to cover more of that a little later when it comes to supply chain automation. But yes, you are absolutely right. Okay, now let's look at the next one. What could this job be? Okay, the clue lies in what is there on the table. What's on the table? That's where the clue is, and the answer is okay, telemedicine specialist. Telemedicine specialist is a job that was not there before the COVID. Obviously, it was not there. 10 years back, it was not there. After COVID, slowly it started emerging, and telemedicine specialist is going to be a mainline job in the next 5 years. I had visited KM Hospital a few couple of years back. I found out the amount of work that was not 5 years, not 2 years back. I'm talking about 5 years back. 6 years back, before COVID, KM Hospital in Mumbai was already experimenting with telemedicine. In 2030. Obviously, it's going to boom. So that's another job that's going to boom. There are companies like Practo and Tata Health, which are already recruiting people who are telemedicine specialists, where you are actually giving consulting through remote. And obviously, this is a medical job, but then you can also have psychology students or life sciences students who are getting here. So those students are also going to be getting absorbed. They will also get absorbed in this kind of industry. And to create applications for telemedicine, you will actually require biomedical engineers or biotechnologists, combination of those. Right? Let me do job number 6, and then I will share a couple of other things, and then I'll go to job number 7. Any questions so far? You want to ask me any questions? Okay, I'm moving forward. Okay, job number 6. What could this job be? What could this job be? Okay, where is the clue here? Where is the clue?
Bioinformatics.
Wonderful. How did you get it?
Uh, from the visuals.
Okay, so again, I'm saying, you are right. The industry that you talked about is right. It's bioinformatics as an industry with a specific job who is genomic data analyst. Now, genetic engineering has been in existence for quite a few years. Genetic scientists have been in existence. Genomic data analyst is, you are absolutely right, Aditi. Now, see so what is genomic data analyst? So genomics is the study of understanding the DNA trends, and from that trying to come out with cures for genetic diseases. Now, for coming out with cures for genetic diseases, a lot of genetic data has to be studied. And that is where the role of a bioinformatics or a data analyst comes in. So someone who understands biology, someone who understands genetics, someone who understands probably zoology, and along with that, data analyst and data analysis together. Okay. Of course, there will be specialist data analyst and specialist biotechnologist, but a biotechnologist who understands little bit of data analysis tools, and a data analyst who understands biology. This is how you can have your parallel qualifications. So careers of tomorrow, or education, not even tomorrow, we are talking about 5 years, means right now those who are in 10th, it's for you all. So careers of today, I would say, and tomorrow, very immediate tomorrow, are going to be multiple disciplines. So you have to obviously study one line, which is your main line, but along with that, study the other parallel certifications depending upon your area of passion and depending upon where the opportunities lie, which you will where the opportunities are going to be created, which you'll get to know from these by attending these kind of seminars. So choose your decisions wisely, is what I would like to say. Okay, and that actually brings me to okay, let me just complete this slide. And so yeah, biotech, life sciences, computer science, yeah, a lot of companies. There is a company you should see for more clarity and real life experiences. Look at this company called Genome, which is based in Bangalore, and see the amount of work that they are already doing worldwide. So therefore, I'm saying 5 years it will boom. Already work is happening. Just having a little glass of water. Okay. Okay, now that brings me to a very important point, that when careers are being planned right now, what we have to actually plan is we have to plan what is going to be our main profession, and therefore study that education. And along with that, we've got to understand, my main profession. Now, in my main profession, it could be anything, could be commerce, could be humanities, economics, could be PCM, PCB, whatever you want. I mean, within that biotech or whatever. electronics engineering. Along with electronics engineering, you will have to understand what are my other competencies. And so my competency may be engineering and maybe writing. So if it is engineering and writing, I should take up writing programs. AI is generically to be learned by everyone. And along with that, where will you bring your electronics engineering plus your writing plus your AI plus the emerging fields? And maybe you may say, oh, okay, now when you realize that nuclear fusion is going to be the next emerging technology, then you will say, okay, probably I'm looking at making a career in nuclear engineering where a lot of top dollars are being invested because that's going to be one of the topmost emerging industries in the next 10 years. Now, for you to plan it like this, believe me, it's not easy. And therefore, I mean, we are career counselors, and therefore, I very strongly believe that career counseling is actually a must for everyone. Not because we are in that practice, but I genuinely believe because see, I mean, I've got two children, and if I have to plan their careers, how do I plan? I hardly know beyond whatever I've studied in my school, my college. How would I know? How would I know anything? I mean, I would have a general idea, obviously, of everything. But then, because we are connected, but that's information, right? How would I really know? How do I know that one of the big areas of research today is called green nitrogen fixing and green nitrogen? How do I know all of that? And therefore, I just feel that all of you who have done career counseling professionally, great. All of you who have not done professional career counseling, please get in touch with professional career counselors. So there is Aditi, who's right now one of the participants, and she's also a professional career counselor. And we've also been ex-colleagues in the past, so she's there or we are there. And we definitely, I love to promote career counseling because for a small investment in terms of time and obviously money, you are taking a major decision of your life, which is going to give you success. And I don't think one should make a mistake in that today because see when I won't say mistake, but then we had time to do a course correction when we grew up. But you guys, youngsters, things are moving really fast. So those of you who are here, or those of your friends who have not done professional career counseling, I'm actually promoting career counseling. Please do career counseling professionally because it will make a big difference in terms of understanding where are the new age careers, in terms of understanding what are your competencies and map them with your talents. So mapping your opportunities with your talents to the educational opportunities which are currently available. So please do that. That's one. The other thing that I want to talk about is that those of you who have done professional career counseling and are very clear that this is my career and this is how I'm going to create my career, wonderful. The next big thing that I want to really talk about is soft skills, and within soft skills, very specific skills called, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most important areas which all of us have to develop. When I say all of us who are going to be working now for the next 15, 20 years of our lives, or maybe more, and definitely youngsters who are going to start working, one of the top dollar skill is emotional intelligence. Very, very important. And the way to improve your emotional intelligence is through a number of programs, and that's where I want to also announce that we are actually coming out with a very beautiful program. I call it beautiful because actually I experience a lot of beauty while conducting it. There's a program that we are coming out with called Heart Coherence and Breath Mindfulness Meditation. So this program on heart coherence and breath mindfulness meditation is a program that we are going to be offering for all the students you who have also you may have finalized your careers, but then whether you become a doctor, engineer, AI specialist, or whatever, or a psychologist, etc., etc., you will all need lots of emotional intelligence and many other skills. And what you will get out of heart coherence and out of breath mindfulness meditation is something which will be so deep rooted. I'm not doing a detailed session on what that is because that's a different session altogether. But those of you who would be interested in knowing more, I can tell you one thing: if you do heart coherence and breath mindfulness uh, 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 techniques, sustainably for about 45 to 90 days, your capacity of the brain will go up, your academic rigor will go up, your intellectual IQ will go up, your EQ will go up, your emotional regulation will go up, and your physical immunity will go up. So it also has got a medical aspect out here. So therefore, I would strongly recommend you all, those of you with this little bit of a background have got some kind of a curiosity, just let me know. You all have my number, our numbers, etc. Just if you'd like to know more about what is this heart coherence and um, uh, breath mindfulness meditation program all about, I will only be very happy to explain that to you all, because I'm literally on a mission mode. And that's because I spend a lot of time with youngsters right from the 8th grade till 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20 year. I also go to colleges and interact with students in colleges as a visiting faculty, as well as a guest lecturer. So what I see is that lots of youngsters are under stress. Lots of youngsters, when I say lots, almost 90% of them are under a lot of stress, and they are under a lot of academic pressures, etc. And therefore, that's where I thought that why not do something for that? And that's where we have actually come out with this program. So more of that, I will talk to you all, provided you are interested. You can just message me, or we'll share details about this program. Yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to job number 7. Okay. Okay. So we are back with the quiz. Job number 7. What could this be? I think this is a little difficult to get, right? It's a little different. See, you will just see tech, 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 because the world is tech, yeah. But like I have made it very, very clear, we have to be friendly with technology now. We cannot shun it. Technology is a very much part and parcel of our lives, and therefore everything is tech. But this is a job of a psychologist that I'm talking about, from mental health tech coach. Now, mental health coaches, what is it? Now, have you heard of this company called Visa? I think it's Visa, if I'm not mistaken. Visa. Okay, so Visa is a company doing really well, based out of Mumbai, not Mumbai, Bangalore, based out of Bangalore, doing work all over the world. And they are offering, they are mental health coaches. They are using technology to reach out. So they have teams of psychologists, clinical psychologists, therapists, counselors, doctors, psychiatrists, etc., etc. All of them. There is a company based in Singapore called healthymindonline.com. So we are now into a world where psychologists are using technology, and they are providing psychological inputs and mental health solutions for youngsters and grown-ups and everyone. And because technology is one of the overuse of technology is one of the reason for mental health problems. Therefore, as psychologists, you have to be really an expert in gadgets so that you understand what the problems are all about. So therefore, mental health coaches is going to be, there is no job like a mental health coach. Uh, there was no job about 5, 10 years back. But those who are from the arts background, medical background, social work, psychology background, all of you all can go there. If you see, um, just look at that company website, you will get to know what I'm talking about. So that's the next job. And okay, now I see that it's already 8:05. I am going to go on till about 8:10, and then because it's a 1 hour session, we started at 7:10, so I'm going to go till about 8:10. And then I'm going to be obviously available, but then maybe 8:15, I'm requesting you all to grant me that extension till 8:15 so that I cover whatever I wanted to cover. So I'm just kind of taking that permission right now, because I don't want to spend more time on that. And in case you have to leave by 8:10, don't worry, just tell us that you want the video, and then we'll send you the video so that you can catch up in case you have to really leave right now. Okay, but if you can just wait for 10 more minutes, nothing like it. So let me go on to the next one. Now, this is something Aditi had already spoken about it. The clue lies on that big ball that you can see on the screen, which is the Earth. That's the clue. The job that we're talking about is climate change analyst. Believe me, climate change, Aditya, you're absolutely right. Climate change is really big. And, I think institutes like TERI, the Energy Resource Institute, etc. Sorry, Energy Research Institute, etc. No one ever thinks of going into these kind of institutes, but they are doing phenomenal work based at New Delhi with branches all across India. And climate change researchers are big time in demand. So, because climate change is an irreversible process right now, and therefore, those of you who study economics, so you can be an environmental engineer, you can be an environmental scientist, or you can do a BA in environmental studies, and you can all get into climate change. So I'm trying to give you some routes, but obviously 1 hour is too short a time to cover so many things. At this point of time, the idea is to give you like a trailer so that you know, and whatever things you find fascinating, please go back and go to your computers and start doing more research and be in touch with us. If you have any queries, we'll be more than happy to help you out. So that's a big area, climate change. Okay, the next one, again, the clue lies in the visuals which are on the top left. What does that remind you of? Windmills, which is renewable energy. So renewable energy engineers have been there, but renewable energy technicians are also going to be in big demand. I mean, today plumbers are in big demand in cities like Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, etc. Most of the big cities, plumbers are in demand, electricians are in big demand, etc. Similarly, your renewable energy technicians are going to be really in big demand. So if you are joining the ITIs or diploma in engineering, etc., you will get into this kind of career. So you can easily be an electrical or a mechanical engineering diploma, take specifically or even civil engineering, take specifically subjects on environmental technologies, etc. And then you can be an environmental, renewable energy technician. So it could be solar energy, it could be wind energy, nuclear energy is another big one. But then nuclear energy requires a completely different set of uh, specialized skills, so that will not come here. But nuclear energy technicians are going to be really in demand. But then that I don't want to cover right now because that's a little bit a little more ahead than what we are talking. That's beyond 2030. Okay. So let's go on to the next one. So so nuclear, so renewable energy, yes. Electrical engineering, ITIs, electrical diplomas, mechanical, etc. All of that is going to be important. The next one. What do we have here? Okay. For shortage of, not shortage of time, but because I don't want to delay you beyond 8:15, I'm not going to stretch the quiz further, but there's so many exciting careers. E-commerce supply chain optimizer. Now, I think Shankar mentioned about transport, right? Transport, yeah. E-commerce supply chain optimizer. Now, today, we are talking about supply chains that can actually adjust themselves because, so for example, if a physical truck is moving from Trivandrum, which is the south of India, to let's say Delhi, the truck has started and typically it may take maybe 4 or 5 days to reach. Now the truck has already started, the route is fixed, etc. But today, and suddenly, there are floods in between, in the rainy season, and there is major flooding, etc. We just saw in India there were floods all over the place last 1 or 2 years. Now, generally, if that is the case, there'll be a lot of coordination, communication, and all of that, etc., etc., etc. But with the use of AI, you can actually program the supply chain, and the supply chain through AI agents will actually adjust themselves and tell the driver without a manual intervention that I was supposed to go from take road number A, but now I have to take road number B because if I take road number A, I will get stuck in floods. And that is the role of a supply chain optimizer who understands logistics. So typically maybe an MBA in logistics, supply chain, etc. Maybe MBA e-commerce, maybe technical people who have done management degrees in e-commerce, and you have understood AI, and you have also understood things like courses like for supply chain, so impact of weather and environment, a little bit of that, and you become a supply chain optimizer. Lot of people from commerce background can go here. Lots of people from commerce background because supply chain can be easily handled by people from commerce background. So commerce management, engineering, yes, definitely. Interesting, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Now this one. What's the next job? The clue lies on the screen behind the black screen. You will see Instagram logo and you will see Instagram page out there. That's the clue. The job that I'm talking about is influencer marketing manager. Now, marketing managers are present, have been present for the last 20 years, 25 years, 30, 35 years. Marketing managers have been present in the industry. Influencers have been there for the last 5, 6 years, maybe 10 years. But we are talking about an influencer marketing manager. Now, an influencer marketing manager is a manager who is actually guiding. Either an influencer marketing manager is working in advertising agency or a digital agency or working inside an organization and guiding brands on how to how to market a product or a brand using influencers. So you have influencers on YouTube and influencers on Instagram and influencers on TikTok, which is banned in India right now. And you've got influencers on all kinds of social medias. So the job of an influencer marketing manager is to understand the whole world of influencers in the social media and to understand what is marketing, to understand what is digital marketing, and to be a negotiator and a deal maker so that you are striking deals with all the social media influencers so that the brand gets visible through the right modes in the least possible cost. Isn't it interesting? I mean, it is like three, four roles. I mean, when I did my MBA in marketing, we used to aspire for a role of a marketing manager. And today, it's like, three, four jobs rolled into one. So, I mean, I just find it so fascinating. I just find it beautiful. You just need to learn all the time. That's all. Not scary at all. Do you think this is very scary? You know, I don't know. Some people may think it's scary. It's not scary. You just have to be open to learn. You have to be adaptable and flexible. That's all. Okay. And then the last job that we have curated for today, job number 12. The clue lies in. Okay, how do I explain the clue? You see a lot of robots, you see machines. Okay, that job is human AI interaction designer. So, yes, Aditi, we spoke about UI UX designer. So, the next level is human AI interaction designer because, like, they say that, like today, if I have a team of 20 people in my company, in my department, obviously, all 20 people, when I say, are human beings. But tomorrow, in 5 years, if I've got 20 people in my team, I don't know whether people is the right word. If I've got 20, whatever, in my team, out of 20, maybe 10 of them are human beings and 10 of them are robots. Now, the robots may be looking like a human being, like a humanoid, or the robot may be a machine or a computer. It may be a mobile, which is a robot. And there are these 20 people in my team. And therefore, um, I am actually interacting with robots, I'm interacting with gadgets, computers, and human beings. And the interaction that is going to happen on robots through AI with human beings, that's human AI interaction designer. So it's a different level of designers altogether, different level of designers. So UI, UX taken at a different level, you have to understand psychology, you have to understand human emotions, etc. Empathy is a big, big skill required. And on this note, I would like to complete saying that while you see all tech, 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 it is tech plus psychology plus human touch, etc., which is going to be the core skill that is going to be required, whether you are pursuing a PCM or a PCB or a commerce or an arts, etc., etc., etc. So on this note, I would like to end today's talk. And yeah, I'm just saying future of work is here, and therefore, yes, future of work is definitely here. 5 years is not a long time. देखते देखते 5 साल ऐसा हो जाएगा. And therefore, I would just like to say one thing: be adaptable and keep learning. That's it from my side. And if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. Yes. Questions? Anyone? Okay, so there's a lot of silence, so that's fine. I don't know whether the silence means that are you thinking or are you not there at all, or are you assimilating or okay, thank you very much. You found the session self-explanatory, Meghna, so that is so nice. I am taking it as a compliment. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you so much for sharing. Simple messages like that means a lot because to put up a show like this, we actually put a lot of efforts and therefore when we put in the efforts, some feedback, just keeps us going because to keep doing these programs every alternate Wednesday um, takes a lot of our energy. Yeah. So we're good with. No, 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 no. You have not put it wrongly at all. No, no. I said I'm taking it as a compliment because if you say it is self-explanatory, I completely get it. I'm just complimenting and patting my back. All right. Any questions? Any more questions? All right. Great. So I would like to thank all of you all. So thank you, Meghna. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Sanvi. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Bhavesh. I don't know who is Bhavesh. So you are someone new to me. So thank you so much. I'm assuming you're a student, so just addressing you by your first name. Anupam Ashish, I think, is Sanvi. I'm assuming. Thank you, Janvi. I'm assuming you are a student. So if you don't have any questions, I understand that listening for 1 hour is not very easy. So I'll be very happy to be in touch with you all. So if you have any queries on careers, any queries on my careers has been an area of fascination for me for more than 25 years now. But my new love now is breath mindfulness meditation and heart coherence because I'm conducting some sessions on them. I'm seeing the impact it has on youngsters and on their cognitive and their thinking abilities. So anyone wants to know about the importance of meditation for students along with career counseling, etc., feel free to be in touch and I'll be very happy to explain that to you. Thank you very much. So if there are no further questions, no, yeah, okay, yeah, I think so. Great. So thank you very much. Wish you all a good night and keep in touch. Join our community. Be a part of our community so that you will keep knowing what's happening. It's a very safe thing to be a part of community because it's very private. No one gets to see your number, etc. It's only the admin of our company who can see. Even I cannot see who has joined. It's because the admin says confidentiality. So okay, fine. I have to tell you, Are Baba, let me know whether someone known to me has joined the community. So therefore, I also have to request my admin. So feel free join our community and keep attending our sessions on alternate Wednesdays. And if you want to do any of our programs, please do that and feel free to talk about us and share about us with your friends and family members. We'll be very happy to contribute to them. Thank you very much. Good night.